Namaste, welcome back. So let me explain what spirituality means. Spirituality is based on the idea that we are souls making a human experience here on planet Earth. Wow. And the human body and the human mind are our instruments to function as a human being in society. Soul, the word soul is like a metaphor for energy, pure consciousness, or the substratum of life. Spirituality and yoga philosophy are based on the idea that we are existing in two dimensions. One is creation, the universe, the planets, the stars, planet Earth, all living beings, and that's nature. That's the dimension where energy manifests in endless different forms, and where everything is subject to time, to space, to change, duality, polarities, birth and death, beginnings and endings. And in this dimension, we as souls, as pure consciousness, as energy, are making a human experience. Our instruments, what we got as human beings, right? Our body and mind are part of this ever-changing dimension of duality. They are part of nature. That's why everything in your mind is constantly changing. In your body, everything is constantly changing and renewing, right? But our true self, instead, is from another dimension. It's from the infinite, limitless, timeless, unchanging, indestructible dimension of the underlying force of life, the substratum of life, the intelligence of life. Our true self is that which animates all life. I'm German, but I live in Italy, and anima in Italian means soul. So soul animates all life. It is like the electricity and intelligence that allows life to function, to happen. The dimension of total unconditional balance, bliss, wisdom, happiness, intelligence, peace, and love. So your true self, who you truly are, your true identity, you are actually all your mind is looking for in the external world. And isn't that funny? See, we come here perfectly happy and joyful as babies, as pure souls, but then we mistake our instruments, body and mind, and our thoughts and all the content of our mind for ourselves, right? We forget who we are and we start looking for joy and love and balance and wisdom in the external world. And this eventually stresses us out. We eventually get sick and tired of searching, of chasing after temporary moments of joy, of happiness, right? Chasing after love. And then finally, when we're sick and tired, we try to remember who we are and we start our search within to become again a joyful human being as we were when we came here, right? So you can imagine this dimension of our true self. You can imagine that as pure energy, pure consciousness, and some call it God, right? It's like an ocean of consciousness, of divine energy, and you yourself are just a drop of that, but you're not different. So you can imagine that every living being, every part of creation is animated by the same consciousness or energy or substratum of life, whatever you want to call that, or God or divinity. Every drop of that infinite ocean of consciousness manifests in a different life form, but we are not different. Just our appearance to our physical eye here on earth looks different, right? Our minds, our thoughts are different, but what is beyond all that, what moves all that, what keeps it alive, that's you, that's me, that is one. Oneness is the idea of spirituality, the translation of yoga. Our mind creates constantly thoughts, right? But no thought can exist without you, without awareness, without consciousness. But consciousness, you do not need thought to exist, right? So you are consciousness, you are energy, and energy is indestructible, and it doesn't have beginnings and endings, right? Your body and your mind, they go eventually, right? But you don't, because energy is indestructible. Energy is not just changes its form, it manifests in different shapes, different thoughts, emotions, feelings, sensations. So your true self is unchanging balance, like the mantra Om. Just that. That's why we chant Om when we do spiritual practices, to tap into that frequency of our true self. You are the intelligence of life, the energy that allows this body to function, this brain to think, this mind to experience. Your true self is neither male nor female, and that will become interesting when we talk about relationships. Your true self is consciousness, and through energy it manifests as one form of life. In our case, as a human being. right? So you're not from this world, but you're making a human experience in this world. Isn't that exciting? You are the master of your body and mind, and that's where all spiritual practices leads to. And this is how they help us to enjoy our human journey, because only when we can master our mind can we enjoy our human journey. And then when you're able to master your instruments, when you're able to enhance, to make them function for you, when you enhance your perception, when you raise your energy to the highest frequency, when you align your life energies with the energies of joy, of love, peace, of unity, when you are able to calm down the movements of your mind, you might experience meditation. Meditation happens. What we are doing together, we call it meditation practice, but actually it's just practices to prepare the ground in your instrument so that meditation can eventually happen. And when it happens, that's the moment when you transcend nature and tap into the other dimension, the dimension of ultimate truth. That's when your life changes. That is when you remember who you are. When you experience that your existence is not limited by body and not by mind. When you experience that you are not your past, not your story, not your identity, not your pain, not your likes, not your dislikes. When you experience oneness. When you experience that you are everywhere and connected with all there is. When you experience that you as soul do not need anything, and everything your mind is looking for is within you. All the answers are within you. All the love is within you. So sometimes when you do your practice, now you started to practice, right? Sometimes when you sit and when you're conscious and when you do nothing and you don't engage with your mind, when you do your practice and you just sit, and then maybe you come back after a while and you look at your watch and you're like, oh my God, 20 minutes have passed. It seemed to me like 5 minutes. That's an indicator that you have tapped into that timeless space, the dimension of your true existence, right? So if you can manage, I suggest to take 5 to 10 minutes every day. More if you like. And if you can't even make 5 minutes, then do it at least 1 minute. But it's important to do it every day to show up, right? So you just sit down, you close your eyes, and you just be. You keep your spine straight, you close your eyes, relax, and you focus on this point here, your third eye, which helps you to tap into that other dimension. And if you want, you focus on your breath and you in and exhale with the universe like you did after the first lesson. Or you can simply practice doing nothing, which is not easy because you have turned into a human doing. You forget that you're just a human being, right? So now you learn again to do nothing, to need nothing, to want nothing, to expect nothing. You simply sit and you observe your thoughts, emotions, sensations, but you do not engage in a dialogue with your mind. You do nothing. You are the silent, uninvolved witness, testimony of everything that is happening in and around you. You see a thought, you feel a feeling, but you do not react. You do not comment, not judge, not label anything that comes up as I like it, I don't like it, nothing. You don't even give it a name, you just sit. And everything is well exactly as it is. You practice to simply be alive like another being. Like when you look into nature, you simply be like a tree, like a bee, like a flower, like a mountain, like a river, like a breeze of wind. You just be. And you do not expect anything to happen. You do not try to experience. You don't force yourself. You just be. And if you notice that you get hooked to a thought or you responded to your body or your mind, that is no problem. You just come back. See? You sit as the silent, uninvolved witness and you observe thoughts. Don't mistake, this practice for with trying to stop your mind to think. It will not stop thinking because that's your mind's job, creating thoughts. So you imagine, like when you stand at a highway and imagine you just look at your thoughts like you look at the passing cars. They come and go, they come and go, they come and go, but you don't comment, right? You don't comment like, I like this car is too fast, blah, blah, blah. No, you just sit and observe, all right? And sometimes maybe, because you're so used to it, you accidentally jump into a car and you drive for a little while with this car, right? But then when you notice, you're like, oops, I jumped in. You jump out, you come back to the moment, to the present moment, and you keep your focus again right here, right now, and just observe as the silent, uninvolved witness whatever is going on. And you do not comment. You just be. Do nothing. Not physically, not mentally. You just be. And that is your practice. And you do this every day. That's the most important part, because as I said before, spirituality is an experience, right? So I've been practicing this for the past 20 years, and I've been to my teacher in India, and I had these moments, when meditation happens, and it is something indescribable, because language is also from this dimension of nature, and language is also limited, right? So there are no words to really describe what happens when it happens, but it changes your life. It changes the way you live. Your mind still becomes anxious, sometimes frustrated or sad or angry, or wants to react and defend its opinion. That's okay, that is your mind, right? But once you got a glimpse of that, once you remember who you are, you choose consciously if you want to tap into that emotion, if you want to react, or how you want to react. It's like you are, what you practice right now, practicing to being the uninvolved witness, that's what you bring then into your daily life. So nothing that's happening in your mind or to your body becomes a true suffering, because you know that is not you. That happens in the other dimension of your body and your mind. So do not worry if all this is very confusing to you. Do not worry at all, right? But practice, because through your practice you will understand. Spirituality is not like learning math or neuroscience, that only through intellectual knowledge you understand something, you think you know something. You have to make your experience, and you will get there, I promise you that. And when it happens, you will know. So I'll see you in the next video. Happy practice, and get back to me, send me an email or something if you have any trouble or you just want to share anything. So see you next video.